Sanibonani, Dumalanga Molweni, Mzansi Africa. Welcome to yet another informative episode of your #1 youth show, and that is The Expressions. Well, social media is growing rapidly and can be now viewed as a platform for a source of income for many young people. On this show, we get to dissect the social media industry. Is being a social media influencer a sustainable career? Can a person live off from social media without any other side hustle? Well, Jimlo, ukalosa kalubisi unonkanyizi.
Kosika Kulunonganyezi Nacho Mzansi Africa, and of course I am your host, Uliema Vomisa. Great to have you there, Sohlelweni Expressions. Now, over the past couple of years, we have seen the rise of influencers and even digital content creators, and some of them have gone as far as sharing that being a digital content creator is their primary source of income. Now, in tonight's episode, we will of course unpack the feasibility of having social media as your primary source of income, and also the challenges that come with being a social media influencer. Now, of course, to help me unpack this much-needed discussion, I have always Matomane, who is a SASMA brand ambassador, and also joining us, Sohlelweni Namhlanje, is award-winning, we just have to make that emphasis there, award-winning content creator, Undo Yesile, from the SASMAs as well. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the invite.
I think, let me begin with you. I mean, walk us through, how's the digital content sphere looking like in 2023?
Okay, well, in 2023, you've got so many different niches, first of all, and different people who are creating social media content. So from people creating it for, let's say, beauty content, travel content, all the way to gaming and everything in between.
Yeah.
And then you've got a lot of brands who are looking to get their advertising out there, and they actually are using a lot of these content creators to actually get that message across. So it's certainly starting to become more and more of a line item in the budgets of brands as well. So it's growing more.
It is growing, absolutely. And now, how does someone like Undo Yesile find his niche within that content sphere?
I've always told people that you just do what you love, and then that's going to be easy when it comes to creating content. Finding your niche is very difficult because already when you're stepping into the social media space, there are certain categories and also certain people that are doing those things. So you might find yourself in a situation where you want to copy what someone else is doing. But then if you do something that you are comfortable with and something that is easy for you to do, that becomes your niche, and then you just focus on it.
But the thing is that when you talk about something that's easy, it's also very difficult to find that easy thing. So what was the process like for you to even be able to identify your particular niche?
Well, okay, like for example, I'm always at home. I enjoy cooking. So that sort of like became my niche, because I was like, okay, cool. In as much as I'm recording, but then I don't have to feel like I'm forced, because at the end of the day, I still have to cook. So yeah, that's how it started with
It wasn't far-fetched from your daily life.
Yeah,
okay,
correct.
Absolutely. And now, Weza, you know, someone like Undo here already is established in terms of the content creation sphere.
Yeah.
Now, they obviously have to monetize. I understand, Mungati, you also did it for passion, but at some point, that money gotta keep on coming.
Yeah.
So what effective tools can you impart onto him that he can be able to utilize?
All right, so I think the first thing that's important is to understand monetization happens differently for different people. You could be classified as a nano influencer when you've got way less followers. Let's say you've got about 500 or 1,000 followers. There's a different target market that you actually appeal to, even though you're not necessarily a big-time celebrity with a million followers. So there's levels to this influencer thing. So we've got the nano influencers, we've got the micro influencers, then we've got the macro influencers, or otherwise called, let's say, a social media celeb, if I can put it that way.
Do you identify as such, though? Social media celeb, or we're still at nano? The ladder is
We're
still
getting
climbing.
there. We're getting there.
We're getting there. Okay.
So why I'm saying that there's these levels. So a brand could say, for this particular campaign, I want to do a mix. I want to take some nanos for this part of the campaign, and then I'm going to do some micros or some macro influencers for that part of the campaign. So I can earn differently based on where I am if I'm a content creator. So that's why it's so important to really just be on social media, use it frequently enough so that you at least can communicate with your people, even if it's just 1,000 people.
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
opportunities out there for those people as well.
And part of you, Ndo, speaking on the fact that this is the niche that you found for yourself, did it at some point get to you that let me actually change all of this into influencing, or maybe a brand just approached you and you just decided to play along?
That's the thing, hey, because, okay, for example, me now, when I started everything, it was all fun and games, and it was just something that was just going to keep me distracted,
Yeah,
because I was just going through my own fair share of depression and whatever that I was facing when it comes to life. So when I started creating content, it was just me trying to, you know, shift my focus to other things so that I can just be distracted and forget about whatever that I was going through.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how it all started. And then when you get brands approaching you, that's when you start realizing, like, oh, we are here now. Because when you are doing it for all like fun and games. But then when now you get big businesses or big brands coming to you and be like, hey, we saw your content, we love your work, we'd like to work with you. That's when you'll be like, oh, okay, now we
things
are here.
must change.
Exactly.
And now the real world has begun.
Exactly.
And I guess also just entering that you know, the real world, a lot of things also have to change, even content-wise. For Ndo, I understand also there's what you may deem as an algorithm. So you'd have to, you know, structure your content in such a manner that it appeals to the algorithm that would eventually also attract brands.
Yes, so I think you mentioned two things there. First of all, you talked about things have to change.
Yeah.
So if you are in any way trying to eventually monetize on social media, what you talk about and what you say actually matters, because there's going to be some sort of due diligence that brands want to perform. So if they look at you and they say, hey, this one maybe is too controversial for what we're trying to do, maybe they won't go for that particular person. But of course, there are those brands who are risque enough to go for those influencers or content creators. And in fact, sometimes the word influencer makes some people feel like they can't fit into that world. But if we say KOL instead, a key or a knowledge of, let me just, so a key opinion leader, yes.
Key opinion leader.
So you have an opinion about a particular thing, and a lot of people actually listen to your opinion, and that's what makes you influential, if I could put it that way. Yeah. So yes, a couple of things would have to change for a person like that who is trying to monetize, because you have to be thinking about what are other brands going to think about what I'm posting.
Your particular brand. Unfortunately, we just have to quickly go to an ad break, but most certainly, I want to also get to, you know, the challenges that you'd had to endure, and even, you know, just literally face as that's just want to do this, you know, for fun and for the sake of it. But for now, though, we have to quickly go to an ad break. Do stay with us. This is Still Expressions. Hold right back.
Welcome back. You are still tuning in to your #1 youth show right here on SABC 1 and SABC Lihaya. Umbuzo sibuzayo umbukeli apho ekhaya kukuba, is being an influencer as sustainable as a career? Join the conversation on our social media pages. Tweet those little fingers. We are on Facebook at Expressions and also on TikTok, Pago Expressions_SABC1. Joining us right now is Tswana Skits, also an award-winning social media influencer. Tonight we have champions all the way. Moses.
I'm here.
You are here.
I've arrived.
Where's the mother? When is this you on television?
I left her because she was going to cause problems, but I'm here now.
You are on TV, Moses.
Mom, can you see me? I'm on TV.
Mother, Moses is here. Hey.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
We love your content. I mean, Moses, can you just share your journey? I mean, when did this start? And I want to know, when did you actually find your voice on social media? Because I know a lot of people, they start out, they get worried about comments.
Yeah.
How did you start your content?
So I started during lockdown when lockdown happened, I was like, "Ish, what can I do?" I decided to join the space, and I grew. Everyone was at home, everyone was just on their phones. So I was like, "This is an opportunity." I don't know what I was doing at first, but as you like start shooting, as you grow on social media, like you start like getting your own like name, your own like way, of doing stuff. So I was lucky enough, graced enough to like come up with my own thing, and from there on, I didn't even really like care a lot about like comments and such things. I just kept on going, and just me going just like raised like a voice for me without even me like trying to put it on people's faces. It just happened naturally.
Yeah, and I mean the big challenge is to attract people or get people to comment and love your content.
Yeah.
And I must say that during lockdown, a lot of lemonades were created. So I'm grateful that, I mean, that's how you established your content. And I mean, let's speak of content. I mean, how did you remain consistent? Because I mean, you didn't really care about the likes and comments. You pushed your content. I mean, why was it important for you to remain consistent?
The fans, the supporters are always hungry, for more stuff. So it really like challenges me myself as well, like to just put like quality content out there. Like the graph should always like go up, So I didn't really have to like look at certain people or like think about it too much. It was very, very simple for me. The supporters just wanted more, and I could see that there was growth, and such things. Brands were also coming through. I was like, okay, cool, Ivana, so I can actually like make money with just doing this. You know what I mean? So I just had to push, and yeah.
And I wanted to come to that. I mean, attracting brands, because I mean, that's a wish of every social media influencer to say, you know what, I want to put my work out there so that I can attract brands. I mean, into your brand, getting endorsement deals. And I mean, also, when you attract brands, you work for them. Why is it important that you also remain authentic to your own content?
Firstly, remember your supporters, they loved you for the content you're putting before brands. So when brands approach you, or when brands like request whatever stuff from you, you don't really have to like change who you are, because the fans already fell in love with who you are. So it's just a matter of the brands like finding a way to like make it work with your content. You understand what I'm saying? And I really, with brands, when you are hot, you're just hot. They don't have a choice.
Like a
you know what I'm saying?
hero.
Yeah, there's no like a certain like, a way that you can like, you have to do and whatever. Now, when you're just hot, when it's your time, brands will just approach you and they'll just like fit themselves in your style. And they brands even to tell you like to you don't have to do much. Don't change. Just
Don't
do what
change.
you normally do. Yeah.
Moses, you went as far as requesting Uber via Ekapa.
Yeah.
Tell us about
Okay,
that. I
yeah.
mean, how did that come about? Because I saw it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to do a crazy thing. I just wanted to do something that people were going to be like, is it serious? You know what I mean? So I requested an Uber from Joburg to Cape Town. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. No one has ever done it before. So I wanted to do something that no one has never done it, So I did it with friends that likely understood me and stuff like that. And yeah, it worked. We Ubered from Joburg to Cape Town. The whole country was talking about it. Yeah.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
So you do say that in content creation, you can actually make a career out of it because Moses.
We are trying. Yeah. Thing is, like, it's an industry that's still growing. It's still growing, this industry, especially in South Africa. It's not like the same compared to like overseas and whatever. There is already established. Here it's still growing, and we're at the point where like you can literally, I don't even work. This is what I do. So it's like at that point, where you can like make like a living with such things like brands, also YouTube. That's another way of making money. Also, besides brands and whatever, it pays you for what you're doing. You put out the work. That's what happens. So yeah.
Moses, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the very best in your content creation journey. The expression is all trained up because you got Moses.
Guys, please watch Expressions. Don't waste
time.
Right.
Right here, Mbugeli, where Expressions. What do you have to say about the discussion that we have today? Do you want to be a content creator? Do you think you can make a sustainable career out of it, just like Moses? This is another day, another Zola. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. You're watching Expressions.
And And of course, welcome welcome back to SABC 1. You're still watching Expressions. Of course, namhlanje we're still asking that very pertinent question: is being an influencer sustainable as a career? And still joining me is, of course, Uweza, who is a brand ambassador of the South African Social Media Awards, and also joining us is the award-winning content creator Undo Yesida. Just as we wrap it up, gentlemen, I think let me start with you, Uweza. Let's talk about these social media awards now for a second. What's the objective behind that?
So the objective of the social media awards, or the South African Social Media Awards, are really, first of all, to establish the platform, to acknowledge those who are doing great in terms of creating content, to discover some new talent and recognize them, and then of course also just to legitimize the entire industry, because it is now becoming a career path, if I can put it that way. So brands are coming on board, they're becoming more interested, and they also want to get to know who's who within that space. So a body is then important to just kind of create and regulate that space, and also, of course, give light to the rising stars as well.
The rising stars as well, like Abondo. I mean, you also did attend the awards, and how were they for you? Did you win an award? Because I think you might have won an award there.
Yeah, I did attend the awards. It was my first time attending them, and yeah, by God's grace, we won.
Yeah, and how was that for you? I mean, having just came up in the industry now, and all of a sudden you get, I mean, Uweza was speaking of the fact that it regulates and also legitimizes. So I think that must have been a tap in the shoulder for you.
Yeah, sort of. At the same time, it makes you get some sort of recognition, or you feel that you are receiving the recognition that you deserve, because it's not every day when someone walks up to you and say, oh, I like your content, or you're doing well, whatsoever. But then when you get to win an award for that, that's when you motivate yourself to push harder.
It solidifies everything. Talk to me now about the networking aspect of also having these awards. How was it for you? I'm sure you met your competitors as well, fellow nominees, and obviously you guys had to network there.
I'm very bad when it comes to groups or crowd or having to talk to people for the first time.
But the way we see your videos, it's the complete opposite.
That's the thing, because people see you on social media, then they think, oh, you are this kind of person, but then they don't understand that you have a life outside of social media. So yeah, at the awards, I did meet a few people, but then it's people that I already knew from social media. So it was sort of like, hi, and then that's it.
Okay, Mr. Uweza, sustainability, talk to me about it. Does this industry actually have sustainability within it?
Okay, so two things to mention there. First of all, if you do a brand, I mean, let's say you do a campaign now for a brand. Let's say it is a petroleum brand. It's going to be hard for another petroleum brand which competes with this one to want to work with you again, because they've seen you post about their competitor. So because of that, it's the same with acting. If I'm an actor on a particular ad, let's say I did an ad for an insurance company, it's going to be hard for another insurance company to say, I want to do something with you within the same space of time. So generally speaking, when it comes to this, it's kind of the same. But that being said, there are guys who are making tremendous amounts of money. And I'm talking about serious figures here. It can literally go to 6 figures a month that they can make on social media because they're creating content, because they've got viral content. And the likes of X now is also paying influencers or paying content creators just for being on the platform. So there's a lot.
It's a lot. And then as we wrap it up, Ndo, are you making money here?
Yeah,
of course, you can't reveal the figures. But you are making money.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just enough.
All right. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us, and all the very best to you, equally so with your careers. Although you have the Timbogeliwe Expressions, and that is unfortunately where we will have to leave it here. But most certainly, Kolosa, this is also your opportunity to also tap into it.
Yes, and I must say that we had champions today who are taking space in the social media space. And now, Nyani Apomdomcha, if this opportunity knocks on your door, make sure that you leave all the fears aside. You take your opportunity, because you never know about Uzobati. Well, we're not leaving you alone, Namhlanje. Taking us out tonight is Rabza featuring Leon. The name of the song is Thando Lwethu. Mwah!
Rabbit, awudlale lento wena. Titela manje. Atetela wena mani Khaba baba yakhaba Lokudula papa Ayo wena mani
Mina nomuntu siyathandana ngeke silwe Mina nomuntu siyathandana ngeke silwe Baroskobo siyathandana ngeke silwe Baroskobo siyathandana ngeke silwe Badu mubi siyathandana ngeke silwe Badu mubi Don't have friends in the bill I can take it When I want I love mistakes Nigga wanna back with it Nigga one more in the communist in the face Nigga wanna live a fake Cause I'm fighting got tira loco back with it Nangante kele when I want I love mistakes Nigga wanna live a fake Cause I'm buying a tira loco back teka Napanda male bebe mina ndakote Deja hii dore mina bebe ndakuse Kabona yemina loco nekuswe Like Hennessy loco chikuswe I'm sweat Tanga prince loco chikuswe I'm sweat Tanga prince loco chikuswe I'm sweat Tanga prince loco chikuswe
Eba kairamba nakama taitai Takasiluke wajora tivitai Romeo and Juliet Nkotela lipuleta Timeta litokete waba happy Iyo Wena baby Kurata tata Mufita lifukule Hau matata mutwaka Ene hotwane leba